Hi and welcome back to the channel where today we are talking about efficiency. Now if you drive an EV, efficiency tends to be a popular topic of conversation, particularly when you're talking about range anxiety. So therefore anything that improves the range of your car tends to be pretty well received. Which brings me on to today's product. I've been sent a set of wheel covers by Halo, and they're not like any wheel covers I've tested before because they are disc covers, and I think they look really cool on the website, but I'm super intrigued to see them on the car. But more importantly, they also claim to improve the efficiency of your car. So, I'm currently driving to and from Blackpool from my home, so it's about a 20-mile round trip, and I'm recording exactly what miles per kilowatt hour I get from my Tesla Model Y with the standard 19-inch Gemini wheels. Then, we're going to install the covers, I'll take you through the whole process, and then we're going to do the same exact journey again to see if it does indeed improve the efficiency of the car. I'm not speeding, I'm using nothing but autopilot, I'm not over accelerating. These are as close to exact conditions as I can possibly create, so hopefully we'll get a positive outcome. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're back from our test run, so we now have a mileage that we are aiming to beat. So, while it's still raining, we'll probably try and still install them today, but at the very least, let's have a look inside the box, because it's well packaged and surprisingly heavy. So I'm shooting on this camera, so I'm talking straight to you, but I've also got my new DJI Nano camera up there, which is brilliant, because it's got a wireless viewfinder. You can clip this on the bottom or hold it completely separate, and look, you can see what it can see. That's just superb. So yeah, that's my new camera. Quite excited about that. But anyway, let's get back on with this box. So when you open it up, as I said, it is surprisingly heavy, and I think one of the reasons why is when you have a look inside, there's quite a few accessories, and this is how you hold the wheels on. So unlike all the previous ones I've tested that literally just clip in, you just push them on and they're done, these have got all sorts of complicated and quite weighty mechanisms that go into the middle of the wheel, and then you screw the disc on and secure it. So this is quite an intriguing kit. You've got one side for the right, one side for the left, and this is per wheel, these accessories here. You've got the tightening tool, and then you've got these Halo disc caps. So these are the bits that go on last, just to kind of hide all this mechanism. In here, I imagine there's probably a couple of tools. Let's have a look. So you've got some center screws, you've got an Allen key, you've got a little prizing tool, and then you've got a pair of gloves. That's cool. Some instructions in there as well, I think, so we'll look at that in a moment. So yeah, you've got a pair of gloves to be able to protect your hands while you're installing. In here you've got some protective tape just to go around the edge of the rims to stop the rims damaging or scratching your wheels if any grit gets in between. The wheels themselves, the covers are very unlikely to ever scratch your wheel. Companies tend to send this because if anything gets in between the wheel and their cover, then unfortunately you might get some rub and you might get some damage, so that stops that happening. This I don't really know, but I guess that will become clear as we go through the installation. And then in here you have your instructions. So it talks about what model you've got, and then you've got the instructions. And it's kind of cool here, just kind of explaining the brand and what they do and why they do it. Interesting. And so we're going to follow these instructions and we'll go through the installation. Oh, this is a removal hook. There we go, that's what that does. Excellent. Cool. Right, well, what I'm going to do before we actually get started, because no doubt you're interested in seeing what the actual discs look like, let's pop that out of the way, and then let's grab one of these boxes. So they are all individually boxed. I tell you, the packaging is spot on. There's no two ways about it. It's very premium. And there we go. There is our disc cover. It's got a bit of cardboard bits on it, but that's it. So it's just solid plastic. There's just kind of a fairly standard plastic finish to it, but I think you can get all sorts of designs, and it will just cover the wheel completely for just a neat finished look. So let's get the existing wheel covers off and then make sure that we've got all the tools we need, and let's get started. Okay, the rain's not too bad, so I'm going to soldier on. Step number one, fairly predictably in the instructions, was of course remove the existing wheel covers, which I've now done. Step number two was to make sure these are clean enough for you to put on the protective tape. So I've given them a bit of a wipe down, you can see on this camera, and where we're going to be putting the tape is around the outside here. So this stops the wheel having direct contact with the cover. This will be in between. This one roll will cover all 4 wheels. So I'm going to go on with that, and I'll show you that once I've finished. Right, so I've installed the tape right the way round. It's not a 2-minute job, but it's not that difficult. You've just got to get the hang of making sure that you're covering it properly. So it's incredibly strong, so make sure you've got a pair of scissors nearby as well, because it will not tear easily. You definitely need to cut it. Right, so now let's figure out how we get the actual covers on. Right, so once your tape's on, it's time to fit the wheels. Now, I like to understand how mechanisms work before I start. And this is quite a, it's not as simple as simply just pushing it on like most of the wheels covers that I tend to test. So this mechanism is very solid and heavy, and this is what actually holds it to the car. Now, this bit here, if you can see, pushes in, so it's spring-loaded, and the black bit comes out the bottom. I've got my gloves on, by the way. And as it does so, these little ball bearings around the side go in. And then when you pull it back up, they're solidly locked in place by that big, thick piece of plastic, so they're not going anywhere. And that's because on the inside of the centre, kind of that circle in the middle of the wheel, there is a ridge just on the inside, which those ball bearings will sit in and then lock. Then you'll tighten this, so that holds that in place. It isn't going anywhere. And then this goes over the top. Now, you'll tend to find everything in here has these little security tags. It's non-returnable if you break them, so definitely keeping them now. Is that will then screw in over the top. And that's where you'll use your tool to make sure that's super, super tight. And obviously the wheel will be on there, in between those 2 spaces. You will then use these little bolts here just to go in the middle, which hold this piece to this piece nice and tight. So nobody's pulling this off easily. So you'll screw those in with the Allen key. And then last but not least, you'll then put the covers over the top. Now, interestingly, when you are using the left and the right, remember red being the left and green being the right, they actually screw in differently. So on the left-hand side, they go anti-clockwise, and then on the right-hand side, they go clockwise. But for the clip-in, like I said, you just push that in. This bit is fairly universal. So push the middle, slot it in, and that already is locked. So what I'll do then is I'll then tighten this, so that goes nice and tight against the wheel itself. And that's kind of our starting point. So that's there. And then you'll use the tool, which I'll just grab from here, to be able to make sure that's tight. And remember, you're going anti-clockwise to tighten that. So as I turn that, you can hear it's catching. I'm not going to go too tight with the torque because I don't want to damage anything. At the end of the day, these are plastic threads. So that's step 1. I mean, that literally could not be easier. So the next piece. Now, if you remember, I showed you that sheet before that had the pictures of all the different wheels. That shows you whether you're using H1 or H2 inside the box. That rain is getting worse. So this uses H1 for the Gemini wheels, these 19-inch wheels. So that, as I mentioned, just screws onto there. But of course, the wheel cover has to go in between. So what we're going to do first is we'll grab one of the wheel covers, slide it onto there, and we'll start to tighten it up. Okay, now I obviously don't want to damage this, so I'm keeping it on my foot instead of touching the floor. But at this point, it is just a case of lining it up on the wheel, and it sits nice and flush against the edges, and then you'll start to screw this middle bit in. So if I just line that up and then start to tighten, there we go, I can feel that it's grabbed and the wheel cover is right up to the edges. So we'll then tighten, but that's definitely enough grip. So even though you screwed in anti-clockwise to initially connect it, it's then clockwise to screw this on. So that's our first cover, and then we just need to secure it with that middle bolt. So I'll just grab the Allen key and that screw as well. Okay, so you just take your screw and put it in the middle, and you can manually tighten it for a bit. And then when you get to the point that it's a little bit tough, particularly in these gloves that actually aren't that helpful, they are keeping my hands clean inevitably, but they actually make it really hard to open packaging and keep hold of little screws. So I'll tighten this up quickly. And then last but not least is just putting the cover on. So this is just a case of lining it up, as you can see where the bits are, there we go. And then just twist until it locks. And there's your cover. There's wheel cover number 1. Let's have a look on this camera, see what we think. Oh, that looks really cool, actually. I mean, it's just such a different look. I'm going to have to put all 4 on before I can gauge it properly, but I quite like the look of that. And we are done and installed. Do you know what? I like those, actually. I think they look pretty cool. Let's do a full lap of the car. I mean, they definitely make it look pretty futuristic. I'll tell you, if there's anything that I have learned, is that when I applied the tape before, that's my lock, when I applied the tape to the wheel edge before, I must admit, I put it on fairly straight and I was happy enough because it was covered. In reality, you can see the tape. So I'll probably, on a dry day, take that off and reinstall it so you actually can't see the wheel. So I'll get a little bit closer to the tyre when I'm installing it. But I like those. I think that's a pretty cool look. Right, let's get out there and let's go and see what it does to the range. Okay, so the wheel covers are installed and we're now repeating the exact same journey. So this journey is intentionally a mix of A roads and M roads, so motorways or highways and just kind of regular roads. So the speed limits are varying between 30, 40, 50 and 70. So therefore we are getting a fairly true reflection of the need for efficiency on different road types. I'm sticking to autopilot wherever possible, just so it's got a nice consistent speed. So I'll get on and do this journey because the sun's starting to set, and to be honest, it's probably not going to be super interesting watching me do it. And then I'll rejoin you right at the very end of the journey and we can look at some of the figures. And we are back. So it's been a 27-minute journey, and as you can see in that time, the sun has set, so I'm grabbing whatever light I can to light me for this last bit. The rain has stepped up quite a bit, so it has been very, very damp on that journey, but essentially I managed to do it in exactly the same amount of time, so it genuinely is an accurate comparison between before and after. So what were the results? Well, let me show you now. Here's the results from before. So we achieved 326 kilowatt hours per mile, which isn't bad. Basically, 3 miles per kilowatt, a little bit more than 3 miles per kilowatt, which is not bad at all. I used to get 4 on my Model 3, but that's a different story. This is a Y, it's bigger, it's heavier. It's not going to be quite as efficient. But anyway, 326.2. So the journey we've just completed, the figures look like this. So that's 320.2. Now, you might think that's not a great deal, but in reality, that's just shy of 2% more efficient. Now, bear in mind, that's an extra 2 miles in every 100 miles that you travel. That would quickly add up. And I would say on the second journey, because of the rain, the efficiency was going to be a little bit trickier to maintain because of the rain. So in reality, if they were probably both really dry journeys, I bet it's probably higher than 2%. So all in all, the claims are accurate. So a huge thank you to HaloBLK for sending these discs. I really like them. I've got to admit, I'm going to keep them on the car. I think they look really cool. But crucially, they're going to save us some money, which is great. And if you're looking to save money on your Tesla with just a little bit more efficiency, at least probably 2%, then maybe it's something you should consider. Have a look at the website. The link is up there. There is a discount code in the description below. So if you fancy a pair, get yourself online and get them bought. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video, which will no doubt be about Tesla accessories. Take care of yourself. See you soon.